All right. What's going on, everybody? Let's see. Give us 1 second. Everybody. Hey. It's another episode of the Lion's Den. Hey, brother Rick Ross, you there? Oh man, you mute your phone ain't. We can't even hear you, man. You can probably hear us. Let me see. Will, can you hear me, brother? Okay. Everybody can hear me? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome y'all to another episode of the Lion's Den. We're having some technical difficulties right now. Our brother Rick Ross is in the building. Let me see. Remove. Let me see. Add. Hello? Y'all there? There you go. Hold on. Rick, you there? No, y'all. Y'all, I don't know if Rick Ross know how to get his phone together. What's going on? Hey, ma'am. How you doing? What's going on, AG? So yeah, hey Rick, we're hearing a lot of static in the background, brother. We're hearing a lot of echoes. You got headphones, Rick Ross? So we want to say hey to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you. And we do apologize for the technical difficulties. This is a new, platform or whatnot. But wait, say it again. Dang it, y'all. Hey, so yeah, shout out over there to what's that? Vancouver. How you doing, man? Hey, well, look, let me welcome everybody. We got my man's Will, we got Herm, we got Foots, we got Larry. Hey, shout out. What you got going on, Will?
Hey man, another day, brother, enjoying this good weather, staying corona free. Hey, shouts out to all my St. Louis folks, everybody tuned into the Lion's Den.
Yes. Larry, what's up, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. Sunday, start of a new week for me, new chapter in my life. That's all I'm looking at. It. Blessed to see another day, nice and sunny.
Yeah.
Did a little cleaning earlier, man. I pretty much did the 5 S's in CPI for y'all that don't know. I cleaned out my garage, basically.
What's the 5 S's?
Sort, shine, some other stuff. I don't remember all of them.
What's that?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
What was going on, brother? What happened?
Man, I don't know. It's all good.
Yeah, it's good. Hey, but look, everybody, we want to welcome Rick Ross, Freeway Rick Ross in the building. You know what I'm saying? Welcome, brother. How's everything?
I'm here.
You are.
I'm gonna need about 5 minutes though.
No, go ahead, brother. We're just doing a quick introduction, but go ahead. Just whatever you did, don't jack it up.
DJ Young.
Hey, so yeah, go ahead, Larry. What was your
man? Working, man, at the house, quarantining, working, trying to get it.
let me go.
No doubt. Boy, I know you always putting in money. Putting in that work.
Well, let me go ahead and.
Yeah. But anyway, I was just saying, I was just cleaning my house, cleaning my garage out, man, getting rid of a lot of waste and a lot of stuff that's just been sitting in there for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Probably boxes since I moved here. Never really went through a lot of the old boxes, miscellaneous boxes is what I call them. Right. So that's all, man. Got some people came by, picked up some stuff that they can use for their family and kids. So I guess it's the gift that keeps giving, right?
Right. What's up, Herm? What's going on, brother?
What's going on? Y'all hear me okay?
Oh yeah, bro. We here. We just trying to, work around these technical difficulties, and apparently, Rick Ross had an interview at the same time. I guess they didn't realize the Lion's Den is #1 in the streets.
Oh man.
Yeah, but it's all good.
Hey, it's all good.
It's all good.
Hey, we appreciate the time that he did show for us. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, but yeah, today what I did, I washed my brand new truck, brand new to me truck.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time, and I realized something.
Just trying to,
I was told that you're going to find out everything about your vehicle as soon as you wash it your first time. and I did. So here's what happened. They got me a little bit, man. I'm a little bit hot about this.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to, in my Chevy truck, man, they got these big mats on the bottom. Like, so you can't, it's like a big ass mat that you got to pull up to see. And I didn't really think about pulling them up to see what the carpet looked like. On the whole backside of my truck, there's no carpet.
Are you serious?
It's ripped up a little bit, man. I'm like, wow, they got me a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm still happy with my truck and everything, but I learned a valuable lesson.
No, yeah, the lesson is you should have got a Ram. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, get on through with that, man.
You have to get a Ram.
But I do want to give a shout out to the people on my page. On my page today, I seen a lot of people asking for prayer and whatnot. I want to let you guys know, man, I did see that, thinking about you guys, and I'm hoping everything is cool.
Absolutely. And everyone that's going through right now, this is a time I really do believe that you can take a moment to really value the things that's important, right? Really value the things that's important, connect with those that you have done. So you get what I mean? But it's all good. Hey, what you got, Foots?
Man, what's up, everybody? Facebook fam, good evening, man. I'm just glad to be blessed to see another day. I'm thankful. I'm happy. Shout out to all my 305 family tuning in, checking in. All my Facebook fam on the line. We here. We ain't going nowhere. We're going to get past this, and let's keep pushing, family, because all we got is us at the end of the day.
That's right. You're absolutely right. So let's see if our brother is good to go. Let me see. You good, Rick?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. We're good. So you're done. I mean, you ready for us for real?
Huh?
I said, you ready for us for real?
Yeah. We can go.
Let's do it.
I know how it is, brother. I mean, hey, people want your time, brother. So we don't want to spend up too much of it. So give you a little rundown of what
I want to give it. I want to give it to him. I want to give it to him.
I know, and we know you are. But hey, here at the Lions Den, man, we focus on the leadership, growth, and development, and it starts with us. If it doesn't start with us, then we can't move in that positive direction. And so there's some things that you've been doing when it comes down to the Instagram and connecting with individuals that did have a past, but you're helping them move forward in a positive direction with your businesses. So what encouraged you to do that?
Well, I look back at myself and I wondered where I would have been had I would have had somebody to reach out to me. Well, people did reach out to me, but they wasn't always the right people to be reaching out. And so I wondered what would have happened to me had the right people had reached out and grabbed me and gave me some guidance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, so Foots, you had a question for Rick, man, and I think it was real good and inspiring. What is your questions you got for Rick Ross?
What basically empowered you to want to give back to the community and incorporate businesses and pretty much help out, ex-cons, ex-felons, reach their potential and give them an opportunity to succeed in life?
Well, I reach out to ex-cons and felons because I am one myself.
Yes, sir.
I've been there. When I got out, I thought I would have had some help coming from somewhere. But when I got out, nobody had anything to offer. Most of my people were doing worse than I was. Even though I've been gone 20 years, they had went backwards instead of forward. So that I knew that somebody needs to be out here. So when guys get out of prison, they can show them how to put their lives back on track, and catch up. Sometimes these guys been gone. One of my guys got out yesterday. He did 30 years in prison, and he's 80-something years old. So what type of opportunities are going to be for him? He can't go out and at least with me, I could go out and I did some diesel mechanic work when I got my first diesel, so I was able to work on my own trucks. I could work on cars. I can dig holes because a lot of times when you come out of prison, they don't care how smart you are. They're not going to give you an opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely right.
Well
Well,
put.
let me
Well put.
add some more to that too. And when you black, you ain't even got to been to prison. You still might not get opportunity.
Bro, you know what? You didn't even have to say it, but you 100 with that.
Man.
And we have some viewers that may not understand that, just due to the fact that they've never had to experience that. But when we do talk about those situations, coming from an individual like you or others, they can resonate or they will accept it differently. You know what I mean? Hey, Herm, what you got, man, for Rick Ross?
First, want to appreciate your time being here with us. A lot of people already know what you've been through and your past and everything and what you've had to overcome. But what I want to know is, where do you see yourself going forward? How are you moving forward these days?
Well, right now, I'm trying to come up with the cure for this coronavirus. I think I had a doctor that we definitely know that he can treat it. I'm trying to get him to the front line right now so that he can get some help and start curing people. Like I was saying earlier, even though you may have all the credentials and everything, but when you're black, nobody believes it. My man's been a doctor for 35 years. He worked at Morehouse University Trauma Center. He was a head instructor there for the trauma unit. He was dealing with 30 and 40 patients a night. He took Morehouse from 12% mortality rate and took them down to 3%. And even though he did all that, when he comes forward and say that he has a way to treat the virus, people laugh at him.
Wow.
So I got to follow up real quick, Seth. One second.
No, go ahead.
So with your life story, man, it's truly a story of redemption. Like, a lot of people that went through what you went through might not be able to bounce back, the way you're able to. What do you say to those folks that might feel like, oh, I done been through this, the world has beat me down, there's no way forward? What do you say to those folks?
Well, the first thing I did is I stopped chasing money, because what I found out is that if you chase money, you can be a genius, and if money is your main focus, then you'll drop your genuineness, and take the money and lose sight of who you are. And it don't really matter where you at if you put your focus on the right things. You bounce back. I don't care if I couldn't read and write until I was 28 years old. I went from not being able to read and write to doing law work with my lawyer who graduated from Harvard University. And what I found out is that I was smarter than he was in law. And now that I've been studying with the doctors, and I'm probably on 2 or 3 phone calls a day with different doctors and people around the country talking about the coronavirus and the way it can be cured and how right now, if somebody talked to me, they may think that I might have a doctor's degree.
Wow. Well, look, that's inspiring. Hey, listen, so we got a question from Adai. So how do you locate or vet people? Yeah, can you hear us, brother?
Hello?
Uh-oh, he faded out.
Something happened to it.
Yeah. Dang, that's
some
stuff. Can you hear us? Uh-oh, he faded out, y'all.
We can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Everyone can see and hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah. All right, he gonna log back in. Okay.
All right.
Boy. So what do y'all think about that story so far, though, man?
Man.
I mean, because you have individuals that spend a lifetime, like he said, in jail or anywhere, and it's up to you to really persevere and to want to do something more with it. You know what I mean?
So I personally wonder about that, man, because I always wonder what
He go.
I think I'm back. I think I'm back. Sorry about that.
I'm seeing some feet over there.
SpongeBob.
Got the blue socks, baby.
Huh?
What's up, brother?
Huh?
You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right.
Back. Sorry about that.
Okay, well, look, let's get this question right here. Brother asks, how do you locate and vet people to help or to hire?
Well, I believe that everybody can do exactly what they say they can until I prove them wrong. So I believe in everybody because I want everybody to believe in me. So I'm always the one, and I take a lot of licks for that too. You know, I get hit over the head a lot. But you know, Thomas Edison said it took him 1,000 times trying to make the light bulb before he actually came up with the light bulb. So you know, it's a trial and error.
Yeah, I truly do believe that failure is a part of getting to where where you want to be.
Absolutely.
Hey, Larry, you had a question, right, brother? All right, he muted himself. Go ahead.
All right. So, hello, Mr. Rick Ross. Welcome to the show, brother. It's nice to meet you. I mean, I've read and heard and seen all your documentary stories about you.
Thank you.
You know, you overcoming all of those obstacles to be where you are. So I ask you, with all of the knowledge that you have right now at this point, what would the current you say to the 18 to 25-year-old you?
That's a good question, Rick.
Don't sell yourself short. You have the capability of being anything that you want to be, but you must go and get the information that it's going to take to get you there. Okay. And now with this day and age, it's a little different than it was when I was coming up, because when I was coming up, I didn't really know. I didn't have any white friends. Really, I think we had one guy that my friends went to Van Nuys High School, and he would come down to South Central LA. But there weren't any business people in LA at that time. There wasn't. There was only one or two business owners that I can remember, and I tried to make contact with them. I did make contact with them, but they weren't open enough to recognize the talent that I had. That I was somebody that they should have kept around, that they should have taught.
Okay. And I got a follow-up to it, if we can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, so I don't know if you're out and about in the schools, out in in where you live, but I'm sure you are. What does the current generation think of you, and how are you inspiring this current generation that is out here, running around these streets right now, based off your story and what they're going through right now?
That's an easy one. I go to as many schools as I can. It's a little tough for a drug kingpin to get back into the schools. Gotcha. It's a strange situation, and one that I don't really understand. They'll let a rapper come in and rap about selling drugs and tell them how much money he makes selling drugs, but they won't let an ex-drug dealer who did 20 years in prison come in and tell the kids how selling drugs is a pitfall. But once the kids find out about me, they absolutely adore me. Some of my friends ask me, how do I relate to the kids so well? And one of the things that I tell them is that I try to keep it as real as I can. And, the kids enjoy realness and bluntness. Hey,
and look, and that's 100, man. That's really, that's good. And that's very true. So we got a question down here from AG. He has another question. What or who motivates you now that you're not chasing the money?
Oh, wow.
That's a good question.
My motivation now is legacy. I want to be remembered in the vein of Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or Muhammad Ali. I want people to look at me as one of the greats, and that's what I chase right now.
Wow. So here I got something just a little different. All right. So you did how many years to the
20 years and 2 months.
20 years and 2 months. Okay. So my question is, how long did it take for you to understand the technology from what it was in the 90s to what it is now, and like how quick and how much information you can get at a matter of moments, if you will. How long did that take, or was it a shock to you?
Well, I still don't totally understand the technology aspect of the business. Like, I don't really understand how to work this phone for this.
I know.
But I do understand the benefit of what this technology can do for you. So what I do is I try to surround myself with the best people that I can find. And I've been doing that since I was home. But it's really hard to find people that's in this lane that's consistent. But right now I'm messing with some young brothers I met about 4 months right before the lockdown. I met at the airport. Matter of fact, he might be the last guy that I took a picture with. And we took a picture at the airport. He's he's a cyber security guard.
Whoa.
And he's introducing me to other people that went to school with him. The kid absolutely adores me, and I adore him as well. And that's kind of how in this industry.
Okay. Well, listen. So hey, hold on, y'all. I got one more question because this is a good, and I wanted to get this towards the end. But
I blanked out again.
Oh, can you hear us?
Somebody called me again and it went out.
Okay.
Go out and come back.
What he just said about, since he didn't know technology and everything, you know what I mean, and he didn't understand it, but he was able to get the people around him that know. That's the epitome of leadership right there.
That's,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Just because you don't know, you know what I mean? You know how to put together a team in order to still be successful, man.
Right.
That's what leaders need to understand is you don't have to know everything.
Right.
But you just need to know how to get there still.
Right.
It's all about just knowing enough to make yourself dangerous.
Absolutely right.
That's it.
Can y'all hear me?
A little bit.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Man, you know this phone don't stop ringing, man. They should have put this on my iPad.
Bro,
do not disturb.
Yo, we can hear everything. Somebody doing dishes in the back.
Hey, you know, I done trained this phone, man. I wanted to ring.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And that's what it does.
I feel you. Hey, Rick, look, yo, we do got this one question, man. This is a real good one. So, what can people do? Okay, what can people do to, that's outside your circle help advance your cause?
Well, the first thing everybody can do is they can follow me. They can follow me online.
Mm-hmm.
I have several businesses that I'm going to be allowing people to come in and invest with me on.
Mm-hmm.
What I would recommend for everybody right now that wants to be a part of what I'm doing is to go out and study. I would recommend everybody to read my 3 favorite books: Think and Grow Rich, The Richest Man in Babylon, As a Man Think. And then if you get some time, you know, I got 2 books out, Freeway Rick Ross, Untold Autobiography, and 21 Keys of Success. I would recommend for you to read those. And in a few months, it's going to be an opportunity for anybody who wants to get involved with me. I'm going to open my doors wide up so that everybody can get involved, because I want everybody. I already know that the most valuable commodity is people.
Absolutely.
If you got the people behind you, there's no way that you can lose. So my goal is to allow as many people as I can to get inside and put everybody where they feel comfortable and where they enjoy being. Because if you put somebody where they want to be and something that they enjoy doing, you don't have to worry about them doing a good job. They're going to do it because that's what they want to be doing.
Absolutely right. So essentially, you're talking about a mastermind and having those. Man, that's
absolutely
good, man. And listen, I'll let you know this too on the air while we live, man. The Lions Den is down. Okay, if there's anything, I keep in contact with you, man. If there's things that we can do over in this area, the central area of St. Louis, man, we down. You get what I'm saying? Because we're all about uplifting and helping everyone be the best that they can be, right? And let me see, who else had a question? Will, you had a follow-up question, Will?
Yeah. First off, brother, I want to say that you are a walking testimony. The epitome of an individual that persevered through a whole lot of life opposition, but learn from it and comes back to teach others.
Thank you.
Question is, you got young folks out here that don't fear anything, and it's like you can't tell them nothing. How do you break that barrier when you have people that are yoked that's not scared of anything or anyone when you try to connect with them to teach them, hey, this is not that life for you? How do you break the barrier?
They listen to their homeboys.
You right. You right.
If the homeboys tell them it's popping, they going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even if they tell them that they may be risking their life, they'll still do it. So you have to reach them in the format that they understand.
Yes.
You know, you may have to help somebody else before you help a certain one. You know, some people learn faster than others. So we just have to, you know, the first thing is that when you really, really want to teach somebody, when you're really doing it out of love, you'll get through to them.
Yes. Yes. You're absolutely right.
And so often the people that's been teaching us for the money. It's been bullshit. And people can tell when it's bullshit. You know, kids, when they go to school, they know when the teacher don't really like them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. By the information that they keep from them.
Exactly. Or the way that they treat them, you know, the way they talk to them.
Yeah.
You know, you can say hi to somebody and they know that you didn't really mean it.
You're right. That's true.
And some people can say bye and they was like, man, he really, really meant. And, you know, he really meant that. I felt it.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? You're absolutely right, man. And we see that day to day, even with our occupation. You can tell who's for you and who's not, right? Who want to see you succeed and who don't. But before we go on, I got to take a minute, y'all. Y'all know I got to take a minute for our sponsors, right? We got to. Y'all know what it is. I want to make sure y'all know about Kevlar's Grill. Tell me what you know about Kevlar's Grill. I'll tell you what it is about Kevlar's Grill. They got the best food on this side of Mississippi.
Ooh, really?
Look at that. Look at that macaroni, cheese, and greens. You see that on it? Yeah, you do. Hey, look, make sure you holler at them. And they do the Grubhub. The number right here at the top, 618-416-5700. Look at that. Steaks, pork, steaks. Hey, I got a T-bone the other day. They got the shrimps. They got the chicken and waffles. It's all good. Okay, so here's their address. They're located inside the VFW Post 4183. All right, so
get the rib tips.
Yeah, yo, them rib tips is out of line. All right, it's 100. But anyway, so yeah.
Meatloaf on fire too.
What you say? You say meatloaf fire. Hey, look. Speaking of you, Fitz, you got a question. Go ahead, man.
So Freeway.
Yeah.
Being that you are involved in so many like film projects and documentaries and TV shows of that nature, what are your future projects going forward? Do you see yourself?
Hold on, wait. You got a phone call, bro?
I do.
Look at you, man. Lord have mercy. Why do we always can't get right?
I saw you hit me on my live. I'm on live with somebody else. I mean, I'm on my phone. I'll be finished in a minute.
No, I'm just tell you everything was smooth.
Okay, all right, cool.
Hey, I guess that's what we got. You good, bro?
I'm good now.
Okay. Hey, look, one more time.
my team worked with me, man. I told them I want to work. They working me.
It's a beautiful thing right there.
It is, ain't it?
You know, we had a meeting the other day. I said, I'm ready to go to work. I want to get the word out. Let's get it. So, you know, they keep me busy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm working with 4 fighters that's going to the Olympics this year, too. I mean, 3 fighters that's going to the Olympics this year.
Oh, word.
So that's another project that I'm working on, you know, teaching them how to become a community
champion.
People. Mm-hmm. Not just champions. You know, anybody can be a champion.
Yeah. Right.
You know, you can be dumb as a rock and go in there and slang them gloves and knock everybody out.
Hey, no. Hey, hold on. Wait, I know shade, but I mean, we know of individuals through history. But go ahead to your point.
You can put a gorilla in there. Ain't nobody gonna beat that gorilla.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, hey Rick, do you work with singers?
I do work with singers.
Oh no! Wait.
No, Lord.
Hey, disregard that question, man. Hey, that's some bullshit. Right here, no, that's some bullshit. Hey,
let me get that solid one.
I'm great friends. I'm great friends with Brian Kennedy, who produced Rihanna. He got a Grammy with Rihanna and Jennifer Hudson. And then my boy James Fauntleroy. I know everybody know who he is. 1500 and nothing. He produces Jay-Z, Beyonce. Bruno Mars. I mean, when they was on stage, when Bruno Mars got his last awards for the trophy, he was standing right next to Bruno, and Bruno told him, thanks for all the writing and production.
Wow.
Right.
Who else I mess with? Oh, the Vila brothers. The Vila brothers is good friends of mine. I'm just waiting. I'm gonna do some music stuff too. I see when I
I'm
was in
gonna inbox
prison.
you, Rick.
When I was
I'm
in
gonna inbox
prison,
you, man.
when I was in prison, what I did is I studied. I had all that time to study. You know, I read over 300 books. Once they taught me how to read, reading became a passion of mine. So I read over 300 books.
Right.
I don't know how many magazines I read, but you know, I studied some of the people like the General. I don't know if people know who the General is, but the General found New Edition. He found New Kids on the Block.
Yep.
And I studied him, and I took some plays out of his book, and I want to see if they'll work for me. You know, somebody told me if somebody gives you the recipe to make a cake, if you follow that same recipe just like they told you to do, your cake should come out just like theirs.
Bruh. And you know what? And you know what make it so bad, Rick? It's nothing. Look, it's nothing astronomical or technical about it. It's just common sense. And so what we do is instead of putting air in the tire, we want to reinvent the whole entire wheel. And somebody already did that.
And we don't have to. You know, a couple weeks ago, I worked with a fighter named Austin Trout, who was a world champ a few years back, and I was coming from New Mexico, and I was just thinking to myself, "Damn, man, you finna take over boxing." And I started to feel myself, and I had to pull my ego back and say, "Listen, man, you ain't doing nothing special. All you doing is following somebody's blueprint.
Right.
Somebody laid the blueprint out for you. You just following it, and the only reason everybody else ain't doing it because they won't follow the blueprint. They're gonna go halfway and then come in with their own plan and switch the whole thing up."
Bruh, that's so official.
So when I was studying in jail, I ran into a book, and it told me that people always told us don't be a copycat. Well, this guy told me it's okay to be a copycat. Just make sure you copying the right cat.
Yo, I'm taking that. We're taking that for real. That's real. That's real. Hey, hold on. Hey, Rick, we got a question though, bro. Go ahead, Foot.
Okay. So Freeway, in the future,
AT&T struck again, man.
No, that's his other joint. Hold on. Go ahead, man.
Okay, so in the future, do we see you producing or going into making a movie or biopic?
I'm making a movie right
series
now. I'm making a movie right. I'm gonna make a couple movies.
Okay.
I just started writing one like 3 days ago. You know, the doctors that I was telling you was out here, Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews and Dr. Wilson Washington, both was out here, and they called me. They were at the airport here, and I'm quarantined, and I don't let nobody ride in my car. You know, if you get in my car, you don't pull the trick. Right. So they called me, and it was at the airport, and I had to think about it, and I was like, damn, man, you said that these dudes have probably one of the biggest medical breakthroughs in the 20th century, and you won't even go pick them up from the airport? You that scared of this coronavirus that you won't go pick up a dude who you believe has the medicine that could cure the world right now? And I jumped up and put my clothes on and went and got him. And when I did that, I started thinking about the movie. You know, the geniuses, and the other one, Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews. He worked at the trauma center for 30 years, where his partner was in the Army. He was in the Navy, and he was the guy that, you know, if they drop one of them dirty bombs and they come in, everybody dead. Well, he's the first guy to go out and tell them what they died from, how to clean it up, what it's gonna take to clean it up. So these are the two dudes that I'm running with, right? they got the guy who couldn't finish high school, really shouldn't have been in high school, you know, because he couldn't read or write. So he shouldn't have been in high school. And now here he is running around with two guys that in my book, my personal book, I would call them geniuses. You know, when I looked at their resumes, I couldn't even understand how I had got to them. So I'm writing a movie about that right now. You know, about the guys running around America trying to tell everybody, hey, we got the cure. All these people don't have to die. But nobody's listening.
Wow. Hey, well, look, Rick, we want to first let you know that we do appreciate you being on, and everybody that's live, y'all. Hey, shout out y'all area code so Rick know where y'all calling from or watching from. Hey, Rick, we got a nice, good, solid circle of individuals, man. That's listening to you, man, all over the world, actually.
I appreciate it.
Because they're inspired by what you've done and who you are as a man. You get what I mean? And you didn't take any of, that bullshit that you went through as a hindrance to stop you from doing what you got to do, man. We appreciate that. Hey, Herm, you got a question for Rick? What you got?
I do. So you referenced before about your past, about being a drug kingpin and whatnot. And not only that, I know some people that's listening might not know, but you were pretty successful at that. Now, do you think that what you've learned in the street and how you've handled adversity and been able to be successful in that, do you still use those same tactics for what you're doing moving forward? The reason why I ask that is for the people that think that the streets is the only way. I'm of the mentality that the people that in the streets can use that same mentality to something legal and still be successful. What do you think about that?
You're absolutely correct. The things that I learned from selling drugs is the exact same things that I'm using today. The only thing I did was put a twist on it. One of the things I found out about drugs is your word. Your word means everything. Even in a world where people are crooks and they cheaters and they'll kill you for lying to them.
Yeah.
Your word still means everything. And I found out that those things still mean a lot in the legit business because there's very few people that say what they're going to do and do what they say. Most of the time, it's the opposite way around. They're going to say what they're going to do and do totally the opposite. So, yes, I do use a lot of the same tactics that I use in the drug business. And in the drug business, I probably was too successful.
And so, hey, so speak on that. Like, what is too successful?
Well, a lot of times, you can get into the drug business. I had a few friends that was able to get in and get out. And the reason that I credit them for getting in and getting out is because they were able to make enough money that they were comfortable with. But with me, I did so well and I didn't have to do no work. I had gotten a position to where all I had to do was tell somebody to go and pick something up and drop money off. And that's what I got indicted for being the boss.
Wow.
So, Rick, you've lived a pretty interesting life. And if you can answer this question and say, when you're no longer here, what would you want your legacy to be? When people think about Rick Ross down the line, when you're no longer here, what do you want them to remember about you?
Well, that's an easy one because I think about that all the time. I know one day my grandkids are gonna have to answer to people, and they're gonna try to shoot my grandkids down when they brag about their granddaddy. But what they're gonna tell them is that my granddaddy only sold drugs for 8 years, and right now I'm 61 years old. So that was a small part of my life, and my life means a whole lot more than that. And right now, what I'm shooting for is I'm shooting for to help Leslie Ray Matthews win that Nobel Peace Prize. And all I want to do is be standing on the stage, and my grandkids can say, we don't know what he did to help Leslie, but he was standing on the stage when he got that Nobel Peace Prize. He didn't really care about no credit. See, he ain't worried about the credit. That's why when you see on my documentary, they didn't put my name on there as a producer or a writer or the creator. But I created that documentary. That documentary came out of my mind. I produced at least 78% of it. But people have a tendency to not want me to get the credit that I have. But I'm not really working for the credit. I'm working for the people.
Right. Yo, we appreciate that. Hey, Larry, bro, you got another question for Rick?
I do. Rick, I watched the documentary or the interview, not the documentary, the interview you did with VLAD TV, and you talked about...
Not the one on March the 17th.
Nah, I don't know exactly when it was. I thought it was...
Wait, what's up with that one, Rick?
That was my last interview when I told him that the coronavirus was gonna hit blacks when everybody was
Yeah, that was it.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's the one I watched.
All right, go ahead.
And you talked about tennis being your game for helping you with your critical thinking skills, and then you mentioned that you wasn't able to learn how to read until you was 28. So for me, busting some head and some spades, and playing a game of chess is what helped me.
Spades. Hey, Rick, he can't play spades, but go ahead, dog.
Don't listen to him, Rick. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, what have you learned over time for others to some techniques to help with developing those critical thinking skills outside of the game of tennis and spades and the game of chess, that from either you or other people you've been around?
Well, our mind is a muscle, just like the muscle in your forearm. And you must use it. You must exercise it, and that's what I'm doing right now with my fighters. I'm hoping one day maybe we can get some of the fighters on so they can talk to you about some of the exercises that I'm giving them. I'm teaching them that you have to think. You have to deliberately make yourself think in order to develop your thinking process. If you don't think, they say if you don't use it, you lose it, and I believe that comes right along with using your mind. You have to open your mind up and let it be free and let it work.
Absolutely. Hey, so damn, that was great. So I want to give a shout out to Washington State. They up in the building. Hey, they listening to you, man. San Antonio, they listening to you. Texas, everybody's here listening to you. Las Vegas is listening to you. We over here, Illinois, Chicago.
Make sure you tell everybody to get on that vitamin D3. That's the best thing that we can do right now to fight the coronavirus. Vitamin D3.
Yes. Speak on that. So talk about that.
Well, vitamin D3 is what Doc uses to boost the immune system, and he said it's the best immune system booster that we have known right now. There are some other things that he add to his mix when he started to play with your immune system. But anybody, if you have family members that's inside the hospital, make sure when they go in that they take their blood and they get their vitamin D level at least over 20. You would like for it to be at least 50, but if it's not 50, you get in between 20 and 50. If you're 18 or lower, you vitamin D deficient, and most blacks are vitamin D deficient. We get vitamin D from the sun.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we all working in the house and we stay in the house a lot more than we used to. When I was growing up, we stayed outside playing football or riding our bikes or skateboarding. But now, our kids on those computers. And if being black, we have pigment in our skin, which blocks the sun from giving us the vitamin D that we need to be sufficient.
Wow. Yo, appreciate that, man. That's really, really deep. Hey, everybody that's listening right now, hold on, Rick. I want to give our listeners a chance to give you a call and to talk to you, man, because this is some real good information.
And this is a guy that should have been in the third grade that you're talking to. So just know, you know what I'm saying, who you talking to when you say it.
Man, your name speaks for itself.
Yeah, man. It still ring bells today. Seriously, it really do. To the point where people got to take your name, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want to call, hey, you can call live if you want to ask Rick Ross a question. Number 618-792-6747, right here at the bottom. Right, we got it live with Rick. Hey, but Rick, seriously, man, I do appreciate you getting on, man. This is some real good stuff, man, and I'm very interested in your boxers too, man. What class?
Let's set up a day. We bring them on, and because I got them from all over the country. Mm-hmm. But the ones that's going to the Olympics right now, I'm really, really focusing on them because they're young men, young black men, and I really want to get them, on the right track. I don't want them to make, $500 or $600 million, and then we got black people that's homeless, that don't have stuff to eat, and the government, right now the government is allocating money for this coronavirus to tell where we died at, how we died, but they haven't allocated any money to how to save our lives.
Bro, serious. You're absolutely right.
And the cold thing is that we don't have anybody else that has stepped up and said, you know what, let's put a fund together so that we can set up a situation where we can talk to some of the black doctors who've been on the front line, because most of the people dying were people on the front line other than the ones that was in the nursing homes. And the reason so many blacks are dying because we are the frontline workers. We're the ones who clean the hotels. We're the janitors. We're the street sweepers. We're the frontline workers. And if you have to be a frontline worker, more than likely you live in paycheck to paycheck. So you got to go to work. I'm just fortunate that I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. When I get my money, I take it and stuff it in a shoebox.
You still, bro? Wait, hold on. Wait, Rick, wait, hold on, bro. Look, you ain't in no more. So look, so check it out. Look, you ain't got no bank account, bro.
Yeah, I got bank accounts. I got about 7 bank accounts.
There
I got
you go.
great credit. I got great credit. I got a gold card. I got a platinum card.
My man.
I walk around with about 170,000 in credit cards. So I got great credit.
Good.
It's a little low right now. My score is low, but I got great credit. I don't miss no payments, but my credit cards are stretched out a little bit right now because I use my credit cards to make money. I go to the auction. I spend my credit cards on cars, and then I take those cars and I flip them. And sometimes I pay my credit card right back, and sometimes I go buy another car.
Yeah.
Pay the minimum payment. Mm-hmm. So I'm always constantly working, but I don't take my money and blow it. I don't wear Gucci, I don't wear Louis, and I don't wear Prada and all that other stuff that everybody else do, because I don't need those things to make me who I am. You could be wearing all those things right now, and they couldn't tell you as much as I could tell you about the coronavirus.
See,
you always been low key.
Yeah, man, I could dig that. Man. That's very inspirational. Hey, but Larry, you got a question, bro? What you got? You muted. Hold on, bro. All right, unmute yourself.
Man, I'm so used to being muted. My bad. Rick Ross, my final question of the night. I just want to know, what is your final message to the world? Like, I know Will touched on how you want to be remembered, but I'm saying, with all the years that you've had on this earth, with all the things you've been through, good, bad, and indifferent, what is the final message you're pushing towards the audience of today's generation?
Well, you can be anything that you want to be. You can't let the world or anybody else dictate to you who you should be. You have to take it upon yourself to figure those things out for yourself. You can get ideas from other people, but you're gonna have to tell yourself if you want to be successful, if you want to be a rocket science, a doctor, or whatever it is you want to be in life. You have to be the one who tell yourself what it is you want, how you want to do it, and then you have to go after it.
Great question. Big Herm, you got a question for Rick, man? We're gonna, and everybody, don't forget the number 618-792-6747. We only got time for a couple of questions, so we got one. Go ahead, Herm. What you got, bro?
I do. So we talk about rebuilding the block all the time, right?
Say that again.
So we talk.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Say it again, Herm.
So we talk about rebuilding the block, and I'm gonna credit Nipsey Hussle for bringing that to the forefront about what that is. What does that mean to you, and how are you contributing to rebuilding the block per se?
Well, I was buying blocks in South Central, I think probably before Nipsey was born.
There you go.
So I don't know if Nipsey should get that statement. He probably was the most famous person that said it, but I've been trying to buy my block. I've been trying to help my people buy the block. But to me, that means that we have to own businesses, because without businesses, you can't buy anything. You can't go work at McDonald's and think about buying a house, especially not here in LA. The average house here in LA, even a fixer up, is about $450,000. So the first thing we're gonna have to do is create our own businesses and teach our people how we're doing it. If you're doing it by yourself, it's just one person. But if you teach an army of people what you're doing and how you did it, you have a greater chance of success.
Wow, man, that's inspiring. That's inspiring. Hey, well, listen, on behalf of the Lions Den and all of our guests, brother, I want to say thank you. Seriously, man, thank you for taking the time out and jumping on with us, man. I know you're busy, man, but this won't be the last time we rap. Seriously.
No doubt. I enjoy it. It's always good when you can talk with like-minded people and people that understand your plight and understand what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And I felt like that you guys understood me, and I hope people don't take what I say as arrogance or that I think, you know, I'm better than somebody else.
No, bro.
But I just wanted to say that, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, I was doing a speaking engagement, and when I did the speaking engagement, I was so happy, and I was kind of pat myself on the back a little bit, and sometimes that can turn into arrogance. But what my friends tell me is that I got to start letting people know what I be doing. That way, they'll understand why I feel the way that I do, and why I try to encourage everybody else, because I believe that everybody around is better than I am.
You
but
know
sometimes
what?
we try hard.
We gotta learn from you, Rick.
We do have to learn, but
you've been through there.
Yeah, and so, man, it's a couple of things too, man. You're absolutely right, Herm. You do have to learn from that. But man, one of my homeboys told me this, man, and I'll never forget it. Sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back, man, because you can't always wait for folks to do it. And honestly, bro, you did the damn thing, seriously, and you're not stopping. So age isn't anything. You dig what I'm saying? And if you can surround yourself with individuals creating that mastermind and doing the movies and, you know, an Olympic boxing team, bro, who you know that's doing that besides you?
I got Reginald Hutland doing my movie.
See?
Reginald Hutland.
Bro.
You know who
Boys in the hood. Yeah, boys in the
Hey, guess what? Why not? You did
Why
what
not?
I'm saying?
Well, you know what I found out about myself is I always try to surround myself around the best.
Yes.
I want to be associated with. Sometimes, you know, ain't always with the best, but I'm with the best that I could be around at that time. But I'm always looking to advance my position.
Yes.
That's big.
Man, that's what's up.
Most definitely.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Rick Ross, Freeway Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross on the Lions Den today, bro. Hey, we do appreciate you, man. Seriously, man. This has been epic. Hey, I'm glad your phone got situated because I speaking, bro. Lord, I was like, man, what the fuck? What's going on with the phone?
Next time we're gonna do it on my iPad. I ain't gonna use this telephone, man. But I was just doing a live right when you guys went on. I was doing a live with somebody else. Matter of fact, they're throwing a party for the boxers today. An Olympic party is going on right now for the boxers virtually.
Oh wow!
Yeah, DJ Young is throwing a virtual party for the boxers, you know, and encourage them, you know, because some of them feel kind of down because they wasn't able to. They supposed to be in Japan right now, you know, getting ready for the Olympics, and right now they're at home quarantining, and we just trying to, you know, encourage them that it's gonna be okay.
Okay.
So,
hey,
tell everybody to follow me too at Freeway Ricky on Instagram and Freeway Rick Ross on Facebook.
Oh yeah, most definitely, y'all. Hey, we're gonna put that up. Hey, we got one last one, and this, you can jump on it if you want to or not. You can just say, you know, the hell with it. But is there any rumors out there that you want to dispel? Okay, anything out there that you want to clear up? Like why?
Well, I can tell them Lysol. Do not take Lysol.
No, don't you shut up.
And do not try with chloride. Please.
Hey, you know what's real crazy? Hey, motherfuckers, they was trying this. You know that, right?
No, it's
people dying right now because of this shit.
Yeah,
Rick, you're the real MVP, bro.
Wait, what'd you say, Rick?
I said it's been people. It was on the news today that took Clorox. They had to rush them to the hospital.
Stupid asses.
All right, no, all right, that don't count, Rick. So look.
Hey, I'm just saying.
You asked.
I'm just saying, man.
I can dig it.
You're a real MVP, my dude.
Yeah, man.
Thank y'all.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. I'm gonna holler at you a little later on, man. And
I thank y'all for having me on.
Appreciate you. Right. Hey, so everybody on Lions Den, that was Rick.
Real, recognize real.
Yo, take his words. Don't leave that shit alone. Hey, you want to do
don't snort that shit.
Hey, yeah, leave it alone. Hey, Herm. Hey, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about who we got coming up on Wednesday on our Corona Files.
Right.
You want to introduce this?
Right. So we got my man, Mr. Jeremy Reed. You know what I'm saying? I've known him for a long time. And what I know about him, he's been a mentor to me throughout my career. And I know that what he's going to pass on to us is going to be valuable. What he wants to talk about during this time period is being able to stay connected, even though we got distance between us. So you please tune in. He's got gems for us. Trust me, he does.
Right on. So, hey, everybody, this is going to conclude this week's, I was going to say Corona Files, but Lions Den, building the block. And I encourage you to think about what you can do as an individual. I don't think you have to spend 5, 10, 8, 20 years in, incarcerated to rebuild your block. So think about what you can do tomorrow, today, next week, next year. Don't wait for when this coronavirus is, the quarantine is done and over with. Think about what you can do now, and I challenge you to do it. So on behalf of everybody at the Lions Den, we holla at y'all. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed and stay connected to everyone. All right. Still wash your hands. We'll holla at you.
Much love.